Hello everybody, Dave here from Charest Studios, and I'm outside on this bright sunny day, so I'm actually holding an umbrella so that you can see my face. I'm out here and we've got a lot of wild edibles around. I live in New England, in Connecticut, and I thought I'd show you guys how many wild edibles I can find on the property. And I encourage you guys to find wild edibles, learn about wild edibles, and harvest what you can when you can. Why not? They can be really tasty, and if you know what to do and how to pick them and how to prepare them, you can get a lot of nice wild foods. Usually right around your property or not far from your property. And if you if you live in an apartment or something, you can get out in the woods and look for some of these things. So I'm in New England, but a lot of these things you'll find in a lot of different places. So let's go ahead and look around the yard, see what we can find as far as wild edibles, and I'll show you ones that are ready to eat now, as well as some that will be coming later. Here we have garlic mustard. And you can see those little seed heads almost like broccoli. And this is when you want to pick this garlic mustard, is before those open up into flowers. That's a good time. I mean, you can still harvest the leaves, but you can harvest these whole little little stalks right here, right now. And you can ferment this, you can saute it like you would any other green, you can steam it and put a little garlic, olive oil, and butter, garlic and olive oil or butter. And so that's garlic mustard. It's found in a lot of places in the U.S. It's considered an invasive species, so you're welcome to pick all you like, and you can dig it up if you want. I'm probably just going to cut it down. It's fine to dig it up because it's prolific, and it's like all around. I have a lot of it around the property. There's another one right there with the rhododendron in the background. So there you have garlic mustard. Notice the shape of the leaf and the little florets. I also want to let you guys know, if you have an iPhone, and there's apps for plant ID that can be helpful, but if you have an iPhone, there's a you can take a picture and then look at the info, and then there's an option to have the plant identified. So that's a great way to help you learn your wild edibles. I'll do a video on that function in a future video, hopefully. Let's go see what else is out here. Okay, and here we have the stinging nettle. And this is a good time to pick these when they're just 5-6 inches tall. The stinging part hasn't gotten too developed, and they're nice and tender. And you can pick these little shoots like this. There it is, kind of a mint looking plant. And you can steam them, saute them, ferment them, however you like. Let me see if I can find that's the plant right there. I know there's a lot of other ground cover over here, but that is the stinging nettle. Let's see if we can find it's mixed in with that other stuff there. Let's see if we can find another one. Here's another one here. So that is the stinging nettle. And that's supposed to be like one of the most nutritious wild edibles you can find. So if you have some, this is just growing right here on the property. If you have some in the yard or nearby, I recommend you give it a try. Use gloves to pick it. It's okay when it's this young. Probably you'll be fine without gloves, but I recommend that you get gloves. And you can eat it, the leaves, anytime along, but the stinger is deactivated with cooking or drying. So you can dry this up and use it in smoothies as a nutritional supplement, because it is highly nutritious. And let's go see what else we can find. We have these little violets, these little Johnny jump ups, I guess they call them. These little violets are edible. Those little flowers, you can add them to your salad. So those are kind of all over here, you can see. Got a lot of them. They're just kind of growing wild. And here, guys, we have some cleavers. Now, cleavers are edible as the plant, and also the seeds can be dried and used as a coffee substitute, from what I read. And they do have caffeine, just not as much as coffee, but there's some caffeine in the seeds. So anyway, that is cleavers, and right now it's just a small little thing, because it's it's still early spring here. And this isn't meant to be like I said, an identification, a positive identification video, just a little inspiration to show you how many things you might be able to find around that are edible, and to encourage you guys to study and get to learn your wild edibles. And you all probably know what that is. That's a dandelion, and you can eat the dandelion greens like you would any greens. They might be bitter, so fermenting might help some of that, but if you use them, with something else, not by themselves, then the bitterness is not so bad. And the roots are also of the dandelion plant also make dry them and roast them, and they make a wonderful coffee-like beverage that's very good for the liver, as they say. This, guys, is not a wild edible, but it is a wild medicinal, and that is mullein. And these big, furry, soft, beautiful leaves. You can make mullein tea. It's said to be good for coughs and breathing ailments. You have to look into it more. There's probably more benefits than that. But it's a beautiful wild plant, and my wife does use mullein tea. She feels like it helps the asthma, so we will dry out some of this for her. Okay, and here we have some bitter dock or broadleaf dock, and this whole plant is edible, although the roots could have a laxative effect, and it gets pretty much larger than this. This is early spring, but anyway, yeah, that's another wild edible, and you can you can make flour out of the seeds when it gets mature. You can eat it as a green in salads or soups now. Yeah, so that is broadleaf dock or bitter dock. And you see another one over here, and it grows in a lot of them around together, because they produce lots of seeds when they go to seed. So there you can see a bunch more of them over here. And that is your bitter dock. So there's two more wild edibles that aren't up right now, but I know I've seen them and I know they'll be back. And that is purslane and plantain. So those two, the plantain is like a broadleaf little low-lying green that grows in the yard, and the purslane grows a lot in the garden beds as a weed, but it's actually a good wild edible. Yeah, so those two will be up. I'll try to show you guys later in the season what other things are around, and that will include those. Well, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Please be careful and make sure that you know what you're eating. And like I said, this wasn't a guide. I just wanted to show you guys some of the things. But make sure you know what you're eating before you eat it. And some wild edibles also are edible, but may have like the dock, for instance, has the high oxalic acid, which could be problematic for people with kidney problems. And they say that could contribute to forming kidney stones, especially in certain populations, certain people. So you want to be careful to research your wild edibles for not only being edible, but if there's any contraindications or anything, like there is with the dock. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I'm going to go pick that mustard garlic and head in the house. Thanks, everybody. Remember, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.